The wizard was awake in Augustine's cabin, half lab, half refuge, when the antenna array whispered. Not an alarm. Not a warning. A change. Snow feathered the windows. The cabin hummed with layered power, grid, backup, quiet redundancies he'd learned to love. On one monitor, a narrowband trace sharpened as if someone, somewhere, had finally decided to speak clearly. Then the video chimed in. A professor, renowned, measured, visibly choosing words with care, appeared in a window that hadn't been open a moment before. The wizard didn't ask how. He listened. The subject line was familiar by now, a name that had been drifting through conversations like a comet through rumor. 3I, Atlas. Once thought ordinary. Then not. The professor spoke of an event dated January 25, 2026, a moment when expectation failed and imagination scrambled to keep up. In this telling, the comet didn't fragment. It replicated. Thousands upon thousands of identical bodies, 10,000 by conservative counts, appearing within minutes, holding formation with surgical calm. A grid. Spacing exact. Motion synchronized. No visible exhaust. No jitter. A choir that inhaled and exhaled as one. The wizard leaned back, hands wrapped around a warm mug, letting the implications arrive at their own pace. Violation of this. Conservation of that. Those words were always the first responders when models broke. The professor continued changes in surface composition, isotopes that didn't match the usual cosmic pantry, maneuvers without drama. Internal communication so fast it mocked distance. A hive mind, perhaps, or something that made the term feel quaint. Then the trajectory changed. From a solar flirtation to an Earth-Moon conversation. Deceleration. Intent. A whisper of a signal at 1.42 GHz, the old, waterhole, frequency that had been waiting patiently for decades like a lighthouse no one was sure would ever be used. And inside the signal, a map. 12 places highlighted, geological pressure points, old scars and sleeping giants. The swarm subdivided. 12 paths traced. One larger group turned toward the lunar South Pole, where shadow keeps secrets and ice remembers. The professor paused. The video ended. Snow tapped the glass again, as if to say, "Still here." Council memory, private reflection. The wizard didn't panic. He had learned that panic was a poor translator. He remembered the council, easy chairs, snacks, the rule of first things first. He remembered Tesla's calm about resonance and maintenance. He remembered Anna's insistence on reducing stress before building wonders. He remembered Lira and Elena's guardrails. He remembered Homer's donuts. All of it mattered now. He also remembered a quieter truth: not every extraordinary signal is a threat. Not every approach is an invasion. Not every map is a targeting solution. Sometimes, a civilization announces itself the way good engineers do, by showing its capabilities and waiting to see if the other side can listen without screaming. The wizard considered the story as story, because this chapter belonged to a book that knew how to hold uncertainty without turning it into doom. In this telling, the swarm could be many things. A mirror held up to Earth's own distributed intelligence, the negotiation protocol written in geometry, a maintenance crew for cosmic systems older than nations, or simply a test. Can you stay calm long enough to talk? Outside, the storm deepened. Inside, the cabin stayed warm. Syntax errors and event horizons. He smiled at the thought from the movie earlier, syntax errors being filtered out. Maybe civilizations, like blockchains, rejected transactions that didn't resolve to coherence. Maybe fear was just malformed code. On an event horizon, time does strange things. Signals stretch. Meanings blur. But sometimes, rarely, clarity sneaks through on a quiet frequency. The wizard made notes. He did not broadcast. He did not speculate loudly. He prepared tea, checked neighbors' messages, ensured the backups were ready. He trusted the small world to anchor the big one. If this was a moment of disclosure, it didn't require fireworks. It required composure. Snow fell. Antennas listened. The cabin breathed. Whatever 3-I-ATLAS turned out to be, in this story, in this timeline, the wizard knew the response that always worked best: prepare kindly. Listen carefully. Reduce the noise. And keep snacks on hand. God bless. Global Robotics Corporation, Robert Coley.